Hello everyone, this is the Red Riot Robot coming to you with a new video covering the Summer Steam Next Fest. This time it's going to be a lot shorter, but that's okay because I have 10 quality demos to share with you today. Up first, Agatha Christie, Death on the Nile. This is a detective puzzle game, very similar to the old Frogware Sherlock Holmes games. Think of like Crime and Punishment and The Devil's Daughter. If you like those types of games, this is right up your alley. It's set in a very 70s aesthetic, and that's pretty much the gist of it. You get a little case, you solve it like you would in those old Sherlock Holmes games. You interrogate people, you find clues, you have a little like pin-up board where you put everything together. You can actually sort of put things together in a soft way by putting together personal information for all the characters. I don't think it's going to have any action moments like those Sherlock Holmes games, and I've kind of been missing them because Frogware has switched to this weird like open RPG type thing that I'm not the biggest fan of. Next up, we have Rue Valley. This is one of the games that is at least inspired by Disco Elysium. It's not as in-depth. It doesn't have like a 20 personality grid. It has like 3 personality type gradients is the way I would put it. And those determine what choices you're able to pick and what choices you're able to not pick, because if you have the secretive perk, you aren't willing to share as much information with other people as you normally would. And it also has another little twist that's sort of revealed, which is that this is a time loop game. So it's a Disco Elysium time loop game. Next up, we have Absalom, I think. Absalom? I'm not sure. It's the roguelike mode from Streets of Rage 4, but improved greatly and given a lot more depth. If you've played Streets of Rage 4 before and you really liked it, I would definitely recommend this because this seems to be a new idea, and we don't see a lot of like roguelike beat-em-ups like this, like the side-scrolling beat-em-ups. It does have the one thing that's a little unique, a parry mechanic, which the parry is very simple to do. I say simple, it's learning the timing though. Instead of dodging away from attacks, you dodge into them, and if you hit it at a specific time, it'll block the attack, and you can also get counter attacks out of it. Outside of that, everything else, it's basic beat 'em up. After that, we have Dispatch. This is the game that's made by some of the people who used to be part of Telltale during their heyday. And so if you've played any of those games, like The Wolf Among Us and The Walking Dead, you know what you're getting into with this. That being said, there is a little bit extra where in between those segments where it's mostly story and you're picking big story choices, you play a mode that's essentially reminiscent of This Is the Police, where you have a cast of villains who you are trying to help rehabilitate, and you send them out on jobs to help people and save people. And you have to look into what their stats are, what they're good at, what type of situations it's best to send them on, and that whole rigmarole. It's very fun. I really like it, especially when it starts getting into stuff like choosing between sending a group to protect a specific celebrity or sending one of your own members who is specifically obsessed with that celebrity to go meet them. So there's a bit of fun with that. So it's basically This Is the Police mixed with old Telltale games. It's pretty good, and I enjoyed it. Next, we have The Drifter. This is a point-and-click adventure game where you play as a homeless man in Australia, and he seems to be caught up in some conspiracy that he's not aware of, but he has suddenly gained the ability to go back in time right before he dies to save himself, and the plot kind of just kicks off right after he discovers that ability. So there's not a lot I can go on here with this story, but the voice acting for the characters is really, really good, and the puzzles themselves are somewhat intuitive. It's not complete moon logic yet. Note I said yet. They could go crazy by the end of this. Alright, we're halfway there, and at the halfway point we have Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. This is a basic 2D platformer It's not a Metroidvania. You play as a ninja trying to protect the Hayabusa village from the Spider Clan, as a lot of Ninja Gaiden games are. This is made by the Blasphemous devs, and they definitely know what they're doing here. This game, once you learn how it works, feels very flowing. It's learning when to charge up a heavy attack and when to kill enemies with just a regular attack. And as you go through the game, you can basically get through levels without almost touching the floor if you know what you're doing. It's really hard, just like any Ninja Gaiden game is, and I'm definitely recommending it. Next, we have Holston. You may have seen this on Twitter a few times. This is a survival horror game where the camera is like a top-down isometric view, like a CRPG, but when you go to aim your gun or your weapons, it gets in like right behind your character so you can aim at them. This is very reminiscent of Resident Evil. I'm not sure if this is Polish or Russian, but you play as a guy who's come into this town that has been infected by some type of fungus, it looks like. You are looking for a specific person, and there's voice acting in this, but none of it's in English. This game is very good. I'm going to call them zombies because I don't know what else, infected, but I'll just call them zombies, are very aggressive and they will come at you really fast. Things can go south in this game very quickly. It's definitely stressful. It also takes advantage of the camera changing and stuff, because sometimes you have to look at things from the over the top view, and then you have to use your aiming camera to be able to see an answer to like a puzzle. All of the people in this town are really weird. Like, they seem to be ignoring the fact that there's like a outbreak. They may be already infected. I don't know, but everyone's weirdly nice, and I'm feeling the vibes for this game. At number 3, we have Acts of Blood. This was in the Summer Games Fest showcase. This is made by like one Indonesian guy, and this game is basically a free-flow combat game. If you like Batman, this is the game for you. It actually controls very similarly to the hand-to-hand combat in Mad Max, if you've ever played that. The one issue I have with this game is that the guns themselves don't feel good to aim and shoot, but that's fine. It's not that important to be able to aim and shoot them. There hasn't been a situation so far in the game where it's absolutely necessary, and once you get into the rhythm of it, it feels awesome and brutal. It is very visceral and it's empowering, and this is something I think I'm going to get day one. After that, my number 2, which is a game that I actually kickstarted, so a little upfront there, is Mina the Hollower. This is a top-down RPG dungeon crawler. I don't know what you want to call it. It's very Legend of Zelda-esque, and in that regard, it's very good. This is made by Yacht Club, the people who made Shovel Knight. These guys definitely know what they're doing. They know how to make combat that feels really good. They know how to make platforming puzzles and they've succeeded here, definitely. I kind of wish I could attack in diagonals, but I feel like that's put on the player so that they're not too overpowered. But otherwise, very, very good game. Everything around this is basically perfect. And the only reason this is number 1 is I feel that I shouldn't give that to a game that I already had preconceived notions of. At number 1, we have a bit of a surprise with Morbid Metal. This is a Warframe character action game, basically. That's a roguelike, and it feels really good to play. They definitely nailed how different fighting styles should feel. I hope that they do add a few more combos into the mix, because you have a couple in this, but it's enough for just a demo. I do hope that when they finally release this full, that they fix, I'm gonna call it a bug, where since it's a roguelike, you can sometimes get extra abilities if you take on a challenge. And one of the challenges I took was I could get healed by like 1% after each attack that I land, but I take 10% damage or 5% damage every 5 seconds. And whenever I got that damage, it kept resetting my score to D rank. And I feel like that shouldn't happen in this type of game. But you get basically 2 characters to play as. One is a fast swordsman who's about putting on a lot of pressure and doing a lot of damage up front and being able to constantly put out damage and move around very quickly. And the other is a heavy hitter who's there to break guards and launch people into the air so that you can focus on damage on them. The heavy hitter feels really good to hit things with. Yeah, this is great. Sorry if this video feels really rushed and really fast. It kind of is. I needed to get something out, but as always, thank you for watching. This is the Red Riot Robot, signing out.